morning. Members of the media and fellow activists, my name is Mark Harrington, and I'm the Executive Director for Created Equal. I've spent 15 years helping to successfully pioneer the use of abortion imagery in the abortion wars. The purpose of this press conference is to announce a new ground game to bring HB 125, known by some as the heartbeat bill, to a vote immediately. Let me state clearly, the coalition represented here today is not part of the Ohio Pro-Life Action or Faith to Action, and is not being directed by any other group or individual. The fact is, there are different approaches to getting this bill passed, but we all share the same goal, to end the killing. The Heartbeat team has effectively used what I consider to be the warm and fuzzy approach to move this bill through the House of Representatives and on to the Senate. Teddy bears, balloons, and cookies have their place, and they've helped to get this bill this far. However, in our opinion, it's time to turn up the heat on the senators who are holding up the passage of this bill. For 7 months, this bill, which would protect babies with a detectable heartbeat, has been delayed in the Ohio Senate. This is unacceptable. We in this room will not allow this to stand. Our intention is to begin to show Ohio voters the human cost of delaying the vote on the bill. According to the Ohio Department of Health, in 2010, 2,123 babies were killed by abortion in the state. Since the Senate has had this bill in its possession, 16,405 babies have been killed. 2,043 babies have died each month, 77 each day. Since abortion centers generally perform abortions 9 to 5, the real number of babies who are killed is actually around 10 per hour. That means in a typical workday, a baby is aborted every 6 minutes in Ohio. Our point is this. Each day the Senate delays a vote on HB 125, 71 babies die, 10 every hour, 1 every 6 minutes. One baby is brutally dismembered, decapitated, and disemboweled every 6 minutes in the state. If HB 125 would have been passed into law by now, at least 90% of these children would be alive today. In other words, these unnecessary delays in the Ohio Senate are responsible for 14,675 deaths. And there's one victim who's been missing from the debate so far. That is the voice of the babies. The victims of this crime have not been heard. The victims have not been seen. We've heard testimony from teddy bears, but not the babies. We've heard the voices of women who regret their abortions, but not the babies. Starting today and the coming days and weeks ahead, we're going to allow the babies to speak for themselves. The price of Senate delays is going to be literally driven home to voters. In order to represent the victims of the Senate delays, we're going to play a film this morning that exposes the cost of Senate inaction on HB 125. We're also going to put it out on our social networks and use the internet. Also, we'll announce the death of each baby every 6 minutes by using this gong. Each time a baby dies during the next half hour or so, we will strike this gong to announce it. This makes the delays even more real. Recently, Senate President Tom Niehaus was quoted in a Columbus Dispatch article as saying, quote, "I'm not going to express my opinion at this point as to whether I think this bill should pass." My question is this, Mr. Niehaus, if not now, when? If not you, then whom? If HB 125 is defeated, it won't be because abortion advocates like Planned Parenthood and NARAL defeated it. This bill, which protects babies with beating hearts, will only go down to defeated Republicans who campaigned as pro-life advocates kill the bill. Some Ohio Senate Republicans are speculating that the heartbeat bill might be found unconstitutional based on the assessment of the current makeup of the U.S. Supreme Court. No one can predict that with that degree of certainty. I'm not a legal scholar, but David Forte of Columbus State University is. And he has said that the opposition to HB 125 uses, quote, the tactic of frightening the pro-life movement by raising the specter of the Supreme Court going on a pro-abortion binge given the chance. But in relation to HB 125, their fears are frankly out of proportion to the present realities and to past history. Babies with beating hearts don't care much about the pessimism and the opinions of lawyers and Senate Republicans who have campaigned as pro-life advocates. These children have waited 40 years for this day. That's a long time. Please allow me to make two statements in support of our effort. Troy Newman of Operation Rescue, the national organization, said, quote, Ohio is ground zero in the abortion wars. I'm making Operation Rescue's resources available to help bring HB 125 to a vote. Joe Scheidler, Pro-Life Action League, said, quote, we will not rest until this bill is passed. These senators can run, but they cannot hide. We will do what we do best, that is to show the truth on how this delay is killing children. So in combination with Operation Rescue and Pro-Life Action League and other national and state activist groups, we have launched our campaign to make the human cost of Senate delays real to voters. Starting 1 hour ago, members of our coalition have begun to drive billboard trucks around the State House and in the Senate, or in the downtown Columbus. Next week, we will begin to go into districts of senators who are delaying the vote. These senators may have been able. That signifies, by the way, if you just entered the room, that signifies a baby who has died because of the delay. Republican senators do not pass HB 125. That happens 10 times an hour every 6 minutes. So we're going to ring that gong every 6 minutes during this press conference. That means my speech has been 6 minutes. So every 6 minutes we're going to hit the gong to signify that another baby has died due to the delays in the Senate. I said again, next week we will begin to go into the districts of the senators who are delaying the vote. These senators may have been able to ignore the teddy bears, but they're not going to be able to ignore our signs and our people. And their constituents won't be able to ignore them either. If you want to see one of our billboard trucks, we have made pictures of them available to the press on the back table there. And after this press conference, you can see them driving on the High Street side of the State House. Finally, this week in Washington, D.C., our organization presented the same video that I'm about to show you on a jumbo TV screen. And the point of the matter is, this coalition and Created Equal will never stop exercising our First Amendment rights to expose the horror of abortion and to make these victims real to Republican senators who refuse to take a position on this bill. This campaign will shine the light of truth on the victims of Senate inaction. We love the preborn, and we want the killing to end now.